Hello, my crafty friends. If y'all are looking for some really cool resin gift ideas, then you have come to the right place. So buckle your seatbelts, let's get crafting. So I bought this new mold, a tray mold, and I have already sprayed it with a silicone spray, so it kind of helps take care of the mold and stuff. And I've also sprayed the handles. So with this one, you actually make your own handles. We will also be using a new resin in this video. Bond Crafter has actually sent me one of their new epoxy resins. They are crystal clear, high hardness, virtually odorless, and they're great for beginners, and they're at a really good price too. So we're going to be trying them out today. And what we're going to be using too is some of the chunky glitter. We're going to be trying the Daniel Cooper method and use the Elmer's clear glue with it. Alright, I went ahead and laid out my fake peppermint candies in the pattern that I want. Link in the description if you're interested in getting these. But the little peppermint candies, they are actually beads, and I've had issues with trying to get the resin to get through to get the bubbles out. So I just put some clay in here, and we're going to paint over what's showing of the clay. Alright, I think I got it the way I want it, so we're just going to push this aside and we can get started on pouring our resin. And I do have 2 cups because I'm going to use 1 cup for the chunky glitter and then just keep clear in another cup. But I am just going to stir in one of the cups. So I'm going to get my glove and mask and everything on, stay protected, and get this started. Let's use a little magic for this one. Bond Crafter sent me enough resin to actually do a few projects before I showed you guys. And I have been using the bubble remover machine a lot lately, but I'm not going to be using it with them because I have noticed they are faster curing resin and they do get thicker a bit faster. So we're just going to go straight into the project. And when I stirred, I just stirred it really slow to kind of try to keep the bubbles out of it. And to also decrease the amount of bubbles that are in here, I'm actually going to be dipping each of these candies individually, as well as the snowflakes, of course. So we're just going to start one by one, and I'm doing it kind of quick just because this resin does seem to be thickening a little bit faster. But I'll go ahead and do that to all of them. Some little bubbles trapped in there, so I'm going to use my little ballpoint tool here to get them out. And now for the heat gun. I just realized that this little snowflake here actually has a little manufacturing flaw. So I'm gonna remove it and put a different one in its place. It's got like these little pieces of plastic in one of the holes, and I just don't like it. So we'll redo that one real quick. And that means I'll have to go back through and get the bubbles out of it. That looks better. Now we can pour the resin on top. I left the edges because we are going to be putting our glitter and getting it ready. So with the Daniel Cooper method, you have to be sure that you know how many ounces are in here. 4 ounces is what we have here. So what we're gonna do is, for our glitter, we got the green and the red, and we're gonna put it on the sides. So for every 1 ounce of resin, you want 1 drop of the clear glue, and we do want to make sure it's the clear Elmer's glue. And if you don't know Daniel Cooper, he is actually a really cool resiner YouTuber, and he comes up with all these like super cool methods. So we're doing 4 drops, 2, 3, 4, and we're just going to stir that in with the glitter. And what it's going to do is, usually this glitter will sink, but because the glue's in there, it's actually going to make it to where it floats throughout the resin instead of sinking all to the bottom. So we'll just get this green in here real quick, and then we will go about stirring it up, getting it ready to pour in. And I do want to actually use it for the handles as well as the sides. You can see how thick it's gotten, and that's what's going to keep the glitter from sinking to the bottom. So just going to pour it in the sides, try to keep it just on the sides. With these handles, I'm just going to squeeze the bottom here because the bubbles like to get in there, and if you squeeze your molds, it'll help the bubbles release. And then just use your little tool again to scrape along the edges because the bubbles like to get in there as well. I realize that my little candies are a little off center, so just going to scoot them over a bit. Now that everything's where I want it to be, I'm just going to let this layer sit for a couple hours. Alright, and now what we're going to do is put another layer on. The bottom layer is dry enough. It's not fully dry, but it's dry enough to put another layer. And I'm going to add this white glitter for the center here. done with that part, and we're just gonna lay this aside, let it dry on a level surface. And if you are liking this content, please give it a thumbs up. I love to hear from you guys. I'll see you when it's dry. It is dry, so what we're gonna do now is get it out of this mold so that we can go ahead and put the handles on it. It's still a little bendy, but it's looking good. Look how clear that is. That turned out really good. I like it. Not too many bubbles. A couple small spots, but not bad at all. I like it. Alright, so get ready for the handles. Go ahead and get these out. Alright, and the glitter didn't sink. Looks great. Alright, now I just gotta figure out where I want the handles, and then what we're gonna do is use a bonding UV resin in order to get them in place. I'll be using the Let's resin. So I'll just put a little drop on the bottom of each of the little handle, and then push it down and use the little UV light that comes with the little bonded kit, and that will cure the resin. This new tray looks perfect with the coasters that we made before. I hope you enjoyed this video and you guys make some really awesome Christmas projects. See you next time.